Good morning, common collectors out there. How we doing today? This is Peter coming at you. So last episode, we did end up with talking about Transformers, and as they hit their 40-year anniversary this year, and they had an amazing collab with Ninja Turtles, and I did get the party wallop. So if you didn't see that episode, go check it out. Listen to it on Spotify, watch it on YouTube. Go from there, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, as we go and we talk about the next iteration of 40 years Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, guys. So where were you? How old were you? And what did you enjoy? So this is last video, if you did watch. We showed you the party wallop in turtle mode. Now this is party wallop in the van mode. This is the party wagon, guys. It is probably from, for what it is one of the most accurate of what the cartoon looked like, what the party wagon looked like, what we all wanted. And guys, it's a fucking amazing toy. If you don't have it, you love your Turtles, you love your Transformers, guys, I've been seeing it everywhere on the shelves. Walmart, Target, $50, go grab it. Like I said in the last episode, guys, you can transform it into any of the Turtles. You can even see right here, all the weapons store, Raphael's size are right there. Great toy. If you want to see a little bit better, go and look at the last episode. A link in the comments, or a link up top, and we'll go from there. So, Ninja Turtles, guys, growing up, loved it. Okay, I'm not gonna go super in depth in just where it came from. I mean, if you're watching this and you don't know about the Ninja Turtles, there are tons of videos that go into the story of it for Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and how they started the comic, why they started the comic, what their ideas came from. I mean, just off the top of my head, guys, and that's how I do my show. This is your first time tuning in. I'm just a common guy, a common collector. I collect what I like, and I enjoy what I like. And I just want a place to talk about it. So here we are. So the Ninja Turtles started as a comic. And it branched out into so many areas. For me, I remember the first time seeing it was probably the toy aisle. And this was back when you're talking, there were tons. Okay, so it started out real small. You had your Turtles, Splinter, Foot Soldier, and Shredder. I don't even know if Bebop and Rocksteady were on that first set, but they were pretty close. Guys, and it grew from there. I mean, toy-wise, you had so many different toys. So you had the 4 Turtles, okay? Then they would do the 4 Turtles as sports themes. The 4 Turtles as rock stars. I had those. The 4 Turtles as jobs. You had astronaut, you had a cowboy. I mean, they pulled out all the stops. Anything you can think of. They had caveman Ninja Turtles that rode dinosaurs. Then they would bring April O'Neil in, and she was a cave woman with a dinosaur. I mean, they did what they could. So they took the toys. They made the toys from the cartoon, and so again, it started as a comic and went into cartoons, right? So the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon, I mean, we all know it. Turtle Power, listen to the theme song. I mean, most of us could probably sing it off the top of our heads. If I wanted to, I would. I'm not, but we'll go from there. So it was a phenomenon. It was everywhere. Birthday parties. You named it, it had it. Ninja Turtles were on everything. They were the next big thing. And of course, it was the cartoon version that was on everything. So now we had the Mirage comics, which were very dark, very gritty, very violent. It was the indie comic company, so they really could do what they wanted. It wasn't Marvel, it wasn't DC. Like I said, very dark. If you go back and read them, they're amazing. The storyline, the artwork, what they did with the turtles was great. So that's where it started. And then you had the Archie comics. So the Archie comics were started. I think the first 3 comics were based off of the animated series, and so it was the kid-oriented comic. But I've read all of those. If you go and read those, as you get later on in the series, it gets a little darker. I mean, there's a scene where Raphael wakes up in bed, and you see him, and he's a skeleton. He's eaten away, and it's just the skeleton of him, like, looking around. Pretty sick scene. I think that's the cyber something where they have the cyber samurais. They have like the cool suits. I had those toys too. I mean, they made toys of everything, guys. They were so awesome. And yeah, and it wakes up. It's in this future of, a dystopian future. I think the water's risen up. He has a girlfriend. And yeah, it's really good. A lot of fun. You got to get past some of the stuff and get into it and really look at it. But yeah, so 40 years. Okay, that's a long time. So just taking a quick look at the comics, we had Mirage, we had Archie, and then they went into, I think, a hiatus after that. And I want to say it was I think Dreamwave picked it up, if I remember correctly. And then it went to IDW. IDW still has it. They did 150 for one run, and they've kind of rebooted a little bit. So it's a good place to kind of pick up and come back with. Stories are amazing. IDW took it from a different perspective, that the Turtles and Splinter lived back in feudal Japan. And so does Shredder, we know that. That's kind of always been the thing. And then, but the Turtles are reincarnated 4 brothers, and Splinter's the reincarnated father of them. So they actually are, were trained when they were younger. I mean, it's a good story. Lots of fun come from it. We have characters come back into the comic. Rat King is in there. They kind of redo his character. It's a lot of fun. Again, April O'Neil. We have the Frogs show up. A couple of the Mutables show up. We got Ray. We got Mondo Gecko. So there's a lot of variety in there. Yeah. So kind of looking back, and one of the most fun stories I can always remember growing up was watching the first movie. Okay. Now the first movie was, by far out of them, I think, the best. It was dark, it was gritty, it was more based off the Mirage comics than the cartoon. And I remember one of my favorite scenes, and is when Raphael's on the roof and he just goes, "Damn!" Just yells it. And I got in so much trouble because I would go around yelling that. And at the time I was I don't even know how old I was. I can't do the math. It was elementary school sometime. Probably, let's see, 89, I think, is when the movie came out, maybe. So that would have made me 8. If I'm right, I think that's about when it came out. Don't quote me on it. Again, memory, that's what we go off here. And so, but I remember back in the day, they had the ghetto theaters, right? So, of course, I went and saw it in the main theater. And then we'd go to this cheap theater. I can't remember how cheap. I want to say it was like $2 a ticket. It wasn't a lot. It's like the $5 days I go on Tuesdays. And so it was $2 a ticket. But what was fun is it was always double feature. And honestly, they wouldn't care how long you sat in there. Okay, so we went to see it, and I want to say it was with Milo and Otis. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was Milo and Otis. So we watched Ninja Turtles. Me, my brother, my mom. I don't know if my sister was there. And then we watched Milo and Otis. Okay, so as we're leaving the theater, my friends are walking up and they're gonna go watch Ninja Turtles. So guess what? We pay another $2. We go back in. We watch Ninja Turtles. Okay, we watch Milo and Otis. And you know what? What the hell? Why not? We stay and watch Ninja Turtles one more time. We watched it 3 times in one day in the theater. Guys, loved it. Amazing. Great thing, right? One of my favorite memories with Ninja Turtles. One of my favorite sets that I had in Ninja Turtles, I ended up getting rid of. Where they did a crossover with Star Trek. So each character was a Star Trek character. I ended up getting rid of a lot of my toys. And so that's kind of where we come back now as a common collector and trying to rebuy some things. Figuring out what I want to buy, how I want to buy it. So yeah, I mean, we look at the originals and they've redone these a couple times. So, you know, I have all 4 turtles. We've got Raphael here, and we have Shredder. So not a lot of posability. You guys know that. Very little movement, very little articulation, because that's what toys were back then. But honestly, I mean, you think about it. We went from G.I. Joe, which had no wrist movement. They had knees, and they had the O bands, O-ring rubber band ones that would always break. And we did get wrist movement, at least on the turtles. You know, we got wrist movement. Or not even really wrist. It was like, what is that? They twisted the elbow. Like really, that's how the wrist moves. So we had the turtles, and they're kind of a mix between the cartoon and the comics. Like, they don't really have the cartoony eyes and faces, but they have all their colors like the cartoon. So the original comics, they were all the same red. So they made colors in the comics, of course. Shredder, not really sure why he had no shirt on. It's kind of odd, but that's what they went with for the toy. Yeah, but we've come so far. So these 2 are based off of, I did get these because I have a Raphael and Shredder. And they were based off of the IDW comics. You can see these ones have a lot more articulation, a lot more movement, more color. I mean, he has a double jointed knees. He has throwing stars. You know, I could move his head, his wrists, his elbows, his fingers. So they have a lot more articulation, a lot more detail, but that's what we get now as collectors, which is so great. I love that we have that outlet as collectors. You know, and then I got these fun Q-figs. Last time I talked about how I got the little nanite transformers. I want to get all four turtles. I do have a Q-fig. It's more of a cartoony version of them. Little Q edition, maybe. I have Michelangelo and Raphael. I do need to get Leonardo and Donatello. I just have to do it. It's one of those things. I see it on eBay. My goal was to get them all at the stores. I never found any of them, Leonardo or Donatello, at Walmart, which is where I always found the Q-figs. But yeah, you know, so as we've gotten older, these things are getting redone. I mean, we just had Mutant Mayhem come out. If you didn't see that, you got to go see it. It's probably one of the funnest iterations that the Turtles are actually teenagers. Like, I mean, I know that we've always loved it, guys. Michael Bay did the movies where they were big, huge guys, but not really teenagers. I mean, if you want to watch a bunch of fight scenes, great. If you want to watch a Ninja Turtle story, not so much. But we've had animated movies, animated shows. Nickelodeon's done quite a few shows. And go watch them. Go enjoy them. If you love the Turtles, you got them. You know, just thinking about my collection, I got a sketch card from MentalCon 24 of the Ninja Turtles just jumping off a roof. I mean, it's an amazing card. I won it on an auction, and I'm glad I have it. It goes with my set. I collect cards. Why the hell not? Hell, you can go get official sketch cards on eBay for Ninja Turtles from just, they had a special set that came out, you know, which was a great set. I mean, you go to cons and you can find Ninja Turtle fan art all over the place. You know, I have one that was if you're watching on YouTube, great. You can see it. If not, I will have a couple pictures posted on the Instagram. But I got an amazing turtle piece. This was a variant cover, and that one of the guys did for the IDW comics, and I got a print of it at a show. It's a freaking amazing art piece. I love it. There's one guy did paintings, James Overstreet, and I ran into him, and he paints his own, his old childhood figures. Guys, he basically dumped out all his Ninja Turtles and then painted them. He moved them around a little bit, he said, to kind of see what they looked like, and make sure they're all facing up. But guys, I love this picture. I wish he had the huge one. I mean, it took up like my whole fucking wall behind me. And it was amazing. But this one, it's just a small print of that huge piece, and I love it. I can't wait to get it framed. I got 4 of his to put up that he's just painted, and yeah, guys, the Turtles, huge part of our lives. Huge part. 40 years. They've been 40 years since the first comic was made. Okay, that's nuts to think how many iterations of cartoons we've had in the Ninja Turtles, how many comic books, how many toys we've had. Hell, the crossovers in the comics between Power Rangers, and which are really fun. If you haven't read the Ninja Turtle Power Ranger crossovers, it's fun. I love it. I mean, the Turtles get the Power Ranger suits. It's so much fun, guys. And that's kind of where life leads us as collectors, just having fun and enjoying the nostalgia, the aspect of it, the collecting, the buying what we like. Guys, don't ever stop collecting. Until next time, keep collecting. This is Peter the Comic Collector signing off. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.